Hey guys, welcome to the weekend edition of Chuck Load of Comics right here on YouTube. Another week has come and gone. Here are your headlines. Bill and Ted Face the Music. We got an all-new crop of set photos. Some set photos that really give you some plot details about the upcoming movie that comes out in 2020. We're going to show those to you in just a second. The Matrix is hitting theaters after 20 years. A Dolby Digital remastered version of The Matrix is going to be hitting AMC theaters for 1 week only. We're going to give you some details on when and where you can see it. Magneto, rumored to be returning to the MCU in the form of Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. You heard correct. And finally, scary stories to tell in the dark. We saw the movie. We're going to give you our very positive, very spoiler-free review of this really awesome movie, so stick around for that. Before we get into all that stuff, guys, click the subscribe button, strap in. Let's take a look at some of the comic books hitting shelves this week. So lots of really great books coming out this week. Obviously, this is just a sampling of some of the amazing comic books that are hitting shelves this week. Shauna, what are you most excited about for New Comic Book Day this week?
As much as I want to say the Hulk, because I think that's going to be great, I have to say Powers of 10. And that's right, it's Powers of 10. We screwed up last week and called it Powers of X.
Well, rightly so.
Yeah, because it's House of X, it's Powers of 10, according to Jonathan Hickman.
If you think we're lying, Jonathan Hickman said that officially it's Powers of 10.
Yeah.
So we should all be saying it correctly, I think, now.
True. This series has been great, and they're going to start doing reprints because they ran out of House of X 2.
They did
last week. Yeah.
Chicago Comics and Graham Cracker Comics both sold out like in the first 3 hours of opening on Wednesday.
So they'll be doing second printing. So guys, pick this book up from number 1 and get excited about Powers of 10.
And do both of them. You got to do House of X and Powers of 10 because they're playing off of each other for 6 issues.
So good.
It is fantastic, guys. If you're not getting that, you absolutely have to. I got to say, I'm most excited if you haven't gotten on the Immortal Hulk bandwagon. This book just won the Eisner Award for Best Ongoing Series.
Yep.
They're re-releasing issue number 1 in a director's cut form.
So cool.
You remember when they did this with The Vision after it won all the awards?
Yep.
What it is, it's going to be an extra thick version of issue number 1. Usually they'll do issue number 1 and 2 in one director's cut, and they're going to give you all these sketches and interviews. It's going to be a really thick encyclopedia of Immortal Hulk.
Worth picking up, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if you already have issue 1, you should totally pick up the director's cut. Because that's the one you can loan out to people, because nobody wants to loan out their number 1 copy of the book that's
Eisner Award winning.
really one of the best books to come out this past year.
Exactly.
It's absolutely spectacular. So lots of other ones. Silver Surfer Black coming back for issue number 3. Gideon Falls 16. Doctor Strange number 17. The awesome. Herald Supreme storyline is coming to a close.
I'm enjoying this Mark Waid run of
Me
Doctor
too.
Strange. It's just he revived him. It's really cool.
He did. It was awesome. So pick up all these. If you guys have something in mind that you're going to pick up this week that we haven't mentioned, leave us a comment. Let us know what you're excited about reading this week. So that's your comic books for the week, guys. Let's go ahead and break down this week's Nerd News. All right, guys, so our first story of the day is a movie review, a movie we've been waiting to see for a long time since we saw that first trailer. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. The movie is directed by Andre Overdahl, co-written and co-produced by Guillermo del Toro. Basic synopsis of the movie, guys. The shadow of the Bellows family has loomed large in the small town of Mill Valley for generations. It's in a mansion that young Sarah Bellows turns her tortured life and horrible secrets into a series of scary stories. These terrifying tales have a way of becoming all too real for a group of unsuspecting teens who stumble upon Sarah's spooky house. Shauna, your thoughts on Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Oh my gosh, I was a huge fan of the books as a kid. Like, I bought them at every book fair, which, by the way, is kind of strange to think back on that these books were for kids.
No kidding. I never read any of these books.
I know,
and these stories
creepy.
Are scary.
And the art is insane. The art by Stephen Gamble. Like, oh my gosh, it's so good. But I loved this movie. It did so much fan service, I think, which is interesting, too, because I read on the internet that a lot of people were disappointed that there weren't more stories.
Really?
Yeah, but
I was shocked. I was really only expecting like maybe 1 or 2, and they gave you like 5 or 6.
Yeah, totally. I mean, some of the most popular stories, like, the whole story is loosely based on the haunted house story, which ends up being the story that they're writing about Sarah in the movie. Mm-hmm. But then they also did the red spot with the spiders. They did the big toe.
Oh, that one was so good.
Harold, the scarecrow.
That was awesome.
The pale lady, which was also scary. And then a couple that they actually kind of mention, like honorable, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, honorable mention stories.
They didn't really do the stories in the movie, but Sam's new pet, they mentioned that, like the star Stella, the star of the movie. She was writing a story that's about a boy that has a pet rat with rabies, and that's Sam's new pet. They also touched on Mitai Doti Walker.
Yeah. I got excited when I heard that one. It's the only Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark story I've ever seen or read or heard.
It's so cool.
They said Mitai Doti Walker, and I was like, yes, let's do this.
And then all throughout the movie, they played the Hearst song, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, you jumped out of your seat as soon as you started hearing that Hearst song.
The beginning credits, they play the Hearst song. Like, it's just da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then when they find the music box in the house and they open that, it's the Hearst song. I was like, that's such a good homage to that story. I love it.
Yeah, well, I give this movie a massive thumbs up. This might be one of my top 3 favorite movies of the year.
Yeah.
It was spectacular. I had really low expectations going. I mean, because love Guillermo del Toro. Mm-hmm. He didn't direct it. It was directed by Andre Overdahl. And so I was thinking, crap, it's not going to be, it's not going to have that Guillermo del Toro flair. It totally does. It feels like a Guillermo del Toro directed film. You can tell he really put his producer chops into this movie with the set decoration, the hair and makeup, the practical effects.
Yeah.
Really, really, really spooky stuff. And every single one of the stories, they weren't too long. They didn't get boring.
Yeah, no,
when they did individual little stories that were just like, 5-10 minute scary as hell little scenes, and then they would move on to the next one.
And it's so cool because there is a story. There's a plot to the movie. There's a start, a middle, an end, and it all ties together so seamlessly. It's perfect.
The thread that they use, the story of the Sarah Bellows house and how she tells scary stories through the walls to people, and like it's amazing.
Great.
The thread that ties all these stories together is just perfectly written, perfectly directed. Way to go, Andre Overdahl. Absolutely crushed it. Did you guys see it? Let us know your thoughts. Are you excited about a possible sequel? They do leave it open to where they could continue this because there's a lot more stories to tell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So let us know what you guys think in the comments section. Did you see it? Did you like it nearly as much as us? Guys, I gave this movie an A+. Go see it.
Up. A+.
Without a doubt. Or you can go see Dora the Explorer this weekend. Your call. But I suggest Scary Stories.
Yeah, me too.
All right, guys, so our next big story of the day, Bill and Ted Face the Music. The movie doesn't come out till August 21st, 2020. We've been getting a lot of really cool set photos. This week we got some brand new ones. These are probably the best set photos we've seen so far because they offer some interesting little plot details. We're going to break them down and show them to you in just a second. The movie, if you're unaware, is about, of course, Bill and Ted once told they'd save the universe during a time-traveling adventure. The two would-be rockers from San Dimas, California, find themselves as middle-aged dads still trying to crank out a hit song and fulfill their destiny. We kind of all knew what the plot is, but check out these photos, man. This first one shows our hero, Ted Theodore Logan, at a wedding gig. The Wild Stallions have been reduced to wedding singers. So here they are unloading the Wild Stallions van with crates of stuff and their tuxedos. They're wedding singers now. Not what we expected from Bill and Ted for their future.
Right.
And the next one shows Bill also at the wedding in his suit. But interestingly, if you look at this photo, look in the background. That's Ted's dad. In the background from the original
movie. That's so cool.
Here's my question. Is this Ted's dad's wedding that they're performing at? And is Ted's dad finally going to marry Missy from Bill and Ted #1.
That's funny.
If they don't write that in, because I mean, that would make perfect plot sense.
That does make sense.
They're at Ted's dad's wedding. They're performing the wedding. Ted's dad's marrying Missy from.
That's perfect. I love that. That's a great idea.
I love it. I love it. I love it. This next one is going to pull on all your heartstrings. This is Keanu Reeves with a Make-A-Wish kid.
Aww.
This kid had one wish, and that was to meet Keanu Reeves. So instead of just meeting him in a mall somewhere, they brought this kid to the set of Bill and Ted Face the Music.
That's so cool.
Probably put her in a scene,
right?
Perhaps. So there they are in front of the Wild Stallions van. This was posted by the girl's dad on Twitter. Absolutely.
Keanu Reeves reposted it. I think,
yeah,
too.
it's going all over the place. Absolutely great.
It's so cool.
So these next two, take a look at our hero Ted Theodore Logan rocking a new look.
Wow.
Full on mullet mohawk,
right?
with a big shaggy beard.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's got to be like. So do you think that's in the beginning of the movie, or do you think it's towards the end of it?
I have no idea. It's a good question.
I
feel like it might be at the beginning.
Yeah, I think so too.
When they're still trying to be heavy metal guys, and they wind up being wedding singers. I don't know, but it's a good look for you, Ted.
Yeah.
I think it looks great. So, guys, let us know, how excited are you for Bill and Ted Face the Music? What did you think of these set photos?
Yeah.
Because I think they're absolutely spectacular. And
same here.
Can you wait till August 21st, 2020 to see this movie? I cannot.
A whole year away.
I know. So let us know in the comment section, what do you think of these photos, guys? Moving on to our next story of the day, The Matrix. Speaking of Keanu Reeves.
Jeez, man, he is in everything
He controlled the news this week.
Yeah.
The 20-year anniversary of The Matrix. Can you believe it's been 20 years?
No, I can't.
Since The Matrix came out. Well, they took the movie, they digitally remastered it for Dolby screens. They redid all the audio for Dolby. They redid the picture to look its best in the new laser projection systems that are in the Dolby theaters. It's only going to be released at AMC theaters, only in their Dolby theaters.
Sweet.
And only for 1 week, guys. August 30th through September 5th, you can go to an AMC Dolby theater, see The Matrix fully redone, fully remastered.
Screw going to the beach on Labor Day weekend.
Go
to the movies.
Revisit this amazing film. Shauna, 20 years ago this week, where were you? Tell me your first Matrix story.
Oh, I
seen it in the theater when it came out?
I hate to admit this, but no, we rented it on video.
Oh my god.
We didn't actually. We saw Johnny Mnemonic first,
and
then thought that the Matrix was related
the same thing?
to it, and
well,
yeah, but
that's not a very good story.
I know. Sorry.
Well, I saw it. I had no idea what I was getting into. Like a lot of people, I mean, the trailers gave nothing away.
Right.
All you really saw was Keanu Reeves fighting in a dojo. They gave away nothing. It was the perfect trailer for a movie with as many surprises. And I walked out of that theater a changed man, like everybody 20 years ago. Man, they walked out of the theater after seeing The Matrix, and the world had completely changed.
Oh,
the veil had been lifted from your eyes 20 years ago this week. So there you go. Are you going to go see The Matrix? Tickets are on sale right now. Just go to AMC.com, get your tickets for The Matrix, and we'll revisit this after Labor Day. See what everybody thought. So, guys, our final story of the day, this rumor. It's a rumor, people. This is not official, so don't freak out and say, hey, you guys are wrong. It's just a rumor. But it's a rumor that came out of San Diego Comic-Con. Giancarlo Esposito. You may know him better as Gus Fring from Breaking Bad.
Best actor ever.
Yes. Well, they said in San Diego Comic-Con that Esposito is rumored to be up for a major role in the MCU. He's going to be joining the MCU in, quote, a major role. So, Zach Stentz, the guy who wrote X-Men First Class.
Yes.
Zach Stentz took to Twitter. A little light bulb went off in Zach's head. And he wrote this. He wrote, Esposito is a brilliant actor who could play nearly any role. But if you wanted to reimagine Magneto as a Tutsi survivor of the 1994 Rwandan genocide, he would be amazing.
Oh my gosh, I love this idea.
Gus Fring as Magneto.
What a great idea. They need to reinvent Magneto because, to your point, I mean, Magneto is a Holocaust survivor.
Right.
So if you still go on that story, he's going to be like 90 years old.
Exactly, because remember, the MCU doesn't take place in present day anymore. It takes place like 7 years in the future.
Right.
Because after the events of the snap, it's now like 2023, 2024 in the MCU universe. So he would be 90 years old if he was a Holocaust survivor.
Yeah, so let's do it. Same thing, struggles and survivor of some massive genocide, but that took place in the 90s. That's perfect.
If you're unfamiliar with the Rwandan genocide, be cautious before you go Googling it, because there's some really, really crazy imagery.
Horrific.
It's the Rwandan genocide, also known as the genocide against the Tutsi. It was a mass slaughter of the Tutsi people by the Hutu a tribe in Rwanda, which took place between April and July of 1994 during the Rwandan Civil War. Mass murders of children, women, family. Oh, God, it's absolutely horrible, but it's a really good way to show the master mutant taking a long, hard look at humanity and realizing that humanity is doomed.
Yeah.
Just like the Holocaust. I mean, it's perfect. And it takes place in the 90s, so the time's out perfectly. He would then be in his 40s.
Exactly. That's perfect.
Which is perfect.
I love it.
So excited about this, guys.
I'm speechless. I just hope that works.
Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito, amazing actor. Absolutely amazing actor. He's scary.
Yeah.
He's menacing, but he also looks very wise and knowledgeable and old, and he's like the kind of guy that you would follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you were a bad mutant. And he's also the kind of guy that would not hesitate to pull the trigger and wipe out humanity.
Right. This is perfect casting. I love this.
Is he too old?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? But keep this in mind. If you're going to introduce an actor as Magneto, he's got to carry on that character for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? And if they don't actually start shooting, if the X-Men aren't introduced to the MCU for another 10 years, this might be a 20-year thing for him, man.
It's true.
But I'm ready for an older Magneto personally.
Yeah, me too. I love it.
I love the Magneto we've been gotten with the First Class trilogy.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for a nice, old, wise Magneto.
I mean, by the time they are ready to bring the X-Men back to the MCU, it might be 2040 for all we know. I mean, not real time. It could be 2025 for us, but in the MCU, it could be 2040, and there you go. He's perfect age.
And, it's the MCU is known to not carry their villains onto multiple movies. Like, we only got Thanos for a year, and now he's gone. So, maybe Magneto doesn't stick around forever. Maybe he's just in the first few movies.
I hope this happens.
Let's go, man. Great. I don't know if it will.
I know.
He might pop up in the Eternals for all we know.
Yeah.
But, man, how exciting is that? Him as Magneto, man. That would just be insanely good.
I love it.
So excited, guys. Let us know what you guys think. Make it happen, MCU. Let us know in the comment section what you guys think. Are you excited about this? Do you think it's a terrible idea? We'd love to hear your thoughts. So that's our whole show, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like this channel, click the subscribe button. Join us here every single weekend. We sort of just break down the nerdy news of the past 7 days, give a little discussion of all the geeky headlines that happened in the past week. So take a look at all these comic books that we mentioned earlier. They're coming to a comic book shop near you. I'm rambling, so we're going to go ahead and get this wrapped up, guys. Have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching the show. See you here next Sunday.
Bye-bye.